It is time to get prepared. It is getting real. I don't think I need to tell anybody, but things are going to hell in the handbag pretty quick. Now, I didn't even want to do another broadcast until next week and have a little bit of time, let things settle down, have a chance to take another look. But damn, things are really ramping up in a major way. We'll save the biggest one for last. I just finished listening to a presentation from a sheriff out of Ohio talking about a meeting they had, and this is all the sheriffs around the U.S., okay, with the FBI. And what I learned was beyond mind-numbing. Just blew me away. And just moments ago, even before recording this episode, I just listened to another video broadcast that has warned that many police have been ordered into radio silence when talking about things dealing with terrorism and other related events when they're occurring in their backyards. Does that tell you anything? And now there's a new war game that is taking place between Russia, Iran, and China that its only purpose is to focus on direct opposition to the U.S. and all the NATO operations across the world. People, the schnizzle is fixing to hit us head on. So let's move back into the info that the sheriff is talking about and what was conveyed by the FBI director, Christopher Wray, conveyed to the group. Here's one of the top things that I took away from what I heard. First, the president refuses to meet both with the sheriffs across the United States as well as police chiefs. Again, not wanting to talk about anything dealing with anything related to the border or potential domestic terrorism widespread across the United States. Christopher Wray directly indicated that there are more red flags going off than those that were going off prior to anything we received prior to 9/11. I want you to let that sink in, folks. It is crucial to realize that we have people from nearly 160 different countries illegally coming into this country. And do you really think that all of them are coming here to seek amnesty? Even at the current admitted numbers of approximately between 5 to 8 million, depending on whose version you choose to believe. But let me make this easy for you. Let's be ultra-conservative on the numbers and just use 500,000 that are looking to wreak havoc with the United States. 500,000, that's a relatively small number in comparison to the 5 or 8 million, right? Seeing that we have 50 states, that brings the possibility of having some 10,000 per state that potentially could unleash a wide array of destruction throughout our homeland. And again, I go back to a previous broadcast where I talked about the fact that many of these coming across our border are young, military-age Chinese men. Let that thought soak into your brain for just a moment. And moving right along here, let's continue to concentrate on the fact that our current administration continues to blame the Republicans for not giving him more power to control the southern border. Folks, he doesn't require any additional power to close up our damn borders. He already has that at his disposal. Do any of you remember what his first act was as President of the United States on day one? That's right. He completely decimated our southern border by removing everything that President Trump had put into place with the mere stroke of his pen. So, in fact, he can reinstate those same policies that he took away with his pen again. But he doesn't want to. They want to flood every state with people they think will lean to the left when it comes to dropping that paper in the box in November. And of course, while we continue to hand out all kinds of freebies to them after November, even if the current administration somehow wins another trip to the White House, do you honestly think they're going to continue with all these handouts? Why, hell no, they won't. They will cut them off high and dry and exclaim, "We can no longer afford it." And I can promise you, folks, for everything that Americans here probably should have raised hell and make a bigger stand than we ever have, I can assure you that group of people will. Can you imagine the havoc that will be created if that kind of event takes place, to where the government just all of a sudden dries up the well, if you will, from everybody who doesn't even have a right to receive it to begin with? And newsflash here, folks, hell, we already can't afford it. And if we could, why are we taking the same amount of money that they are throwing away at all these illegals and taking our homeless vets and providing them with the shelter and medical care that they so deserve and need? Someone, please explain that to me. How is it that when you go visit any military installation around the world, and I've served in some of these spots, we have the absolute best in security and able to withhold enemies that were looking to do harm to us, yet here at home, it's almost like we don't even have a border that should be in place to protect us from those looking to do harm in this country. It almost kind of sounds like a plan, doesn't it? And now, for the big thing I wanted to wait to the end of this broadcast for. The truth is about to be revealed. In case you have been living under a rock or just maybe don't know, and I made a post about this on my personal Facebook page. Do you think it's possible to break the internet? We're probably going to find out this evening at about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when Tucker Carlson releases his interview with Vladimir Putin. And the EU and NATO are flipping, losing their minds, and looking to attempt to sanction him because they claim he is interviewing a war criminal. Now, that's a title or an assessment that was placed by NATO and the EU onto Vladimir Putin. Now, I want to put this disclaimer out here right now. I do not support communism, nor do I carry Vladimir Putin's water. However, I do feel there's a lot of information that nobody knows about that's going to be revealed during this interview, and that is what has the deep state cabal on the edge and ready to lose their minds over, because if anybody knows where the bodies are, it's Putin. Having had time to sit back and reflect on what's going on over in Ukraine, one truly has to wonder, what was it that was behind Putin's decision to go all in? Let's face it, we only hear what the mainstream propaganda division wants us to hear. However, could there be things come out that expose both the deep state and even possibly our current leader and his son and some of the misdealings that have taken place, and all the blankets and charades that have been going on for several years in regards to that are brought to light? Maybe Putin was able to see through their horse caca, and they know he has the power to expose them. Now, of course, that's going to be played down by every mainstream media here in America, except those that you don't see on your local cable networks unless you've got their specific apps. And I encourage you folks, get out there and look at other news agencies that are available to you other than the MSNBCs or CBSs or CNNs, because trust me, we're not being told everything we should be. But if you go out there and do a little bit of digging, do your own research, this is where it's vital, people. And I feel where so many people kind of fall short because, and I get it, we all have busy lives, and it's easier just to watch whatever's on the tube of the major networks, take in an earful and say, oh, well, that's it for the end of the day. But what you've just been told is the narrative they've been given by the left and the deep state that they want to push out, not necessarily what the truth of the matter is. Now, I have to admit, I never thought I would live long enough to see a U.S. leader basically selling us out to the highest bidder. However, it's become more than painfully obvious. That's exactly what it is starting to look like. Now, whether you want to believe me or not, that's neither here nor there. That's between you and the fence post. But as the old saying goes, the proof is in the pudding. Well, guess what? I'm starting to see all of those ingredients in the bowl, and they're ready to mix up. There's even been a lot of chatter about there's going to be a major cyber event take place possibly in the next several days that would have mass ramifications here in the U.S. Let that thought sink in. And I just finished up reading a pretty lengthy article on Fox News where they have known that the Chinese have had access to our infrastructure for 5 years. And we're just now finding out about this? Please tell me what is wrong with this picture, folks. Folks, it is not my intention, it's not my job to bring fear into your life, but rather to get you to realize the severity of the very things that are shaping up here at home as well as across the world. And as I always say, you'll always hear this in every broadcast I ever do, I want you to make sure to keep your head on a swivel and to maintain situational awareness while you are out and about, and have a plan. Know what you will do in the event you are confronted with bad actors looking to harm you, your family, or anyone else around you. And to be real honest, right at this juncture of time, knowing some of the things I have ingested or been able to read, hear, watch, what have you, and these are through trusted sources. These are not some way out yonder, tin hat wearing whatever, okay? These are credible sources. I'm not even sure if there will be another broadcast for me based on the things that have been released, okay? Because if they take down our grid or have the capability of taking down our networks, we pretty much lose our access to life. It's hard to wrap your mind around that, but think about it for a minute. I mean, everything pretty much we do is digital, from banking to making purchases to getting gas at your local gas station, buying our food, and the list goes on. I hope, and I pray I am proven wrong. What a blessing that would be. But I am preparing for the worst. Until the next time, if there is one, don't forget to make your statement. Be blessed. Peace out. And thanks for listening to the Make a Statement podcast.
For the fakeness, if you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're with my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.